What's going on, everyone? Welcome to a brand new video on the channel, and welcome to two brand new cars added into Forza Horizon 5, and they're actually completely free. Every single person that has this game, and I'm pretty sure every person that has this game and it's updated and it's connected to the internet all the time, should have all these cars. Well, both of these cars, there's two of them, but you should have both of these for completely free. They're two brand new Coopers. There's actually 6 new cars coming this season. It hasn't actually changed season to the next season. It will today. Yeah, it will change. But this is one of the new cars. Now, Cupra is a car manufacturer that not many people know. If you're European, you would know what Cupra is. If you're from anywhere else in the world, you won't know what Cupra is, because it is technically a subsidiary of Seat. Now, Seat is a Spanish brand. All you need to know is that they're owned by the Volkswagen Group. So Volkswagen basically owns Seat, which in turn owns Cupra. Cupra is basically like the more sporty, I guess, more luxurious brand for the old Seat, right, brand. And then basically Seat makes regular cars. They make cars like the Seat Leon, the Seat Ibiza, what else do they make? Some other stuff. The Seat like SUVs, basically, they make those as well. And pretty much, if you want to be very critical about them and take a look at the technical specs of them, they're pretty much VW cars rebranded, and that is pretty much it. Now, this car itself is also a rebranded VW car. If you look up, now this is a concept right now. This is the Cupra Tavascan concept. It's a 2022 car. It is also a car that is basically a rebranded car. If you have a look online at the VW ID.5, you'll end up seeing this thing, basically. It's just slightly different body style, but it's pretty much this. Now, this car itself, like I said, brand new into the game. Let's have a quick look at what the power figures are. 335 horsepower, 500 newton meters of torque, 2,268 kg. It is fully electric, as you can see, but also the other car that we have is this, the Formentor VZ5, which I'll take a look at afterwards. I want to take a look at this car second because it's actually the cooler car out of these two, and they're a little bit more fun to drive. So I'll have a look at that in a minute, but let's just have a look at this thing. So, like I said, it's basically a VW ID.5 with better styling. Let's just put it that way. I like the Cupra designs and the Cupra styling and stuff like that for all the different types of cars. It's just, basically underneath, it's just another like VW car. Pretty much it, right? Pretty much just another VW car. Now, the one cool thing about this is that, I don't know if this is the only car that has it like this, but I feel like there's a few other cars now, because they have brought out a new thing in the game. The new upgrades basically for cars in the game. But this is very cool, right? So you have this, you have a conversion, which you can then change to a race motor, right? A racing motor, electric motor, obviously, which will give you 671 horsepower and 1,000 newton meters of torque. But then you can also go to this, the motor and battery, and you can also upgrade those. So you can now upgrade the standard engine, or sorry, motor. You can upgrade the standard motor, and as you can see, it gets you more power and more torque. But you can also go and change this, and you give it the race motor, and then go to this. You can still upgrade it even more, and this thing now makes 1,147 horsepower and 1,719 newton meters of torque. Like, it's absurd. Look at that graph. It's just the funniest thing in the world. It's very linear though, the power that comes on. It's not great. It's not great. Like, look how long it takes for you to actually reach peak horsepower with this thing. Like, it takes so long for you to actually get there. And obviously this thing has a lot of revs, but like by about 5,000 RPM is only when you get your full power. Yes, you have the torque at the top, but it's just, it feels slow. I have driven this on stream. I ended up streaming yesterday with this thing when it came out, and it was actually also for this, it's just disgusting Forza parts, so I'm not gonna even bother to put those on. Basically, I streamed with this yesterday when I got a chance to play it, and I wanted to see what it was like. It's slow. It is very slow. The reason why it's slow, I want to put drag tires on this thing. I don't know if I should put drag tires on it or not, but I'm going to anyway, just to see if I can do anything with this car. As for the diff, I had a race diff on it, so I'll just buy the race diff. It doesn't really make too much of a difference because I can just adjust it in whatever way I want. As for this, I put the off-road suspension on it as well. And I think I tried to build this thing for like a drag race. I basically tried to make a drag build out of this car, but it just didn't work out too well. The torque, I guess, the weight is very good. Power to weight isn't actually too bad either, but it's so slow at coming on power that it's it's just kind of annoying to drive, to be honest with you. Top speed isn't great. I mean, sorry, the top speed is actually quite good because of the fact that, wait, let's say, let me give it some different tires. Let me give it the slick tires instead, so we can actually have a better grip with this thing. Because I want to show you guys the top speed. Top speed is good. It's really good, actually, in fact, on this car, especially for an electric car, but it just takes so long to get there. So this is what this looks like. Look at this graph. It's got like a 91 mile an hour top speed. So yes, when it's like this, it makes sense that the acceleration is going to be insane on it. But it's going to top out at 100 miles an hour, basically, right? So it's just no point of me driving it around like this. So let me do this. Make it slightly more rear biased, and then I'm going to lock the diff as well because I kind of want to launch this thing. Braking is fine because it doesn't really make too much of a difference. Alright, let's actually have a look and see what the stats of this thing. Well, sorry, if the stats are right with this thing. So yeah, when it's like this, perfectly fine. But look how quickly it reaches its top speed, right? And then as soon as you start stretching your gears out, that's when it goes downhill. It's so loud, by the way. Even the interior is just insanely loud. So this is pretty much what this looks like. And then you're done. 91 mile an hour top speed. And then the car instantly brakes as soon as you start stretching the gears out. So you start bringing this thing out to its top speed. And the top speed is high. It's really high. There's 262 on the clock. I think it's limited. I think it's limited due to the fact that... I think it's limited due to the fact of the shape that it is, pretty much. But I'll leave it like that. And I'll bring it over onto the highway. And I'll try and launch this thing as well. You'll see how slow it is. Like I said, I tried building this thing as a drag car before, just to try and mess around with it yesterday on stream, and it didn't work out too well. So this is pretty much what it's like. I'm not gonna use launch control this time, so I'm just gonna accelerate. It's so slow. And then, like I said, around the 5,000 RPM mark is when I have peak horsepower. It is still accelerating though, so I guess that's cool. And it will continue to keep going up until it gets to that ridiculous top speed. Like, for an electric car, that's very impressive. I mean, I know it's in a video game and that, but that is very ridiculous. It can definitely do 260 because I've done it yesterday. I've done it going the other way though, so it took a little longer. Yeah, there it is. Doing its thing. 261 miles an hour. And it sounds like it's just about to pierce a hole in my head. That's how loud this electric motor is. Yep. Okay, cool. Well, there you go. There's this thing. I don't think you can slide or anything like that too much. I mean, you kind of can. I mean, I'm on really sticky tires right now. It just feels odd to drive. It also doesn't have drift suspension, so that's why I didn't build this thing to try and slide. Look how odd this is. Like, I'm at 1,000 RPM and this thing's doing a donut. It's the weirdest thing ever. It's not even making it to 2k RPM. And I'm spinning the wheels. That's the cool thing about electric cars. They feel so odd to drive because you have so much torque really low on the revs that you can spin those wheels so easily. Alright, anyway, that's fine. That's it for that car. Let's swap over to the Formentor, because the Formentor is actually very cool. Now, this is a car that you actually see quite a bit. Wait, did I say that? I don't think I said that people in North America aren't very familiar with the Formentor, or basically with Cupra in general. It's a subsidiary of Seat, basically, which makes them very rare in general to see. They're definitely a lot more common nowadays, but you just don't see them in North America because I don't think the brand Seat is there. Also, let me go change back to the all manual, because I was playing manual with clutch yesterday on stream. Yeah, this is definitely a car that I never knew existed. So basically, this is, I guess, an Audi RS Q3 underneath. Not only that, but this thing also has the engine of an Audi RS Q3. It's got a 5-cylinder in it. Very cool. It's so odd that VWs don't get it. But this is basically the same 5-cylinder. You get the Audi TT RS, you get the Audi RS3, the RS Q3. you get it in those as well. As you can see, 385 horsepower, 480 newton meters of torque, and it weighs 1,600 kilos. Now, one really cool thing about this car is that it is now the most powerful 5-cylinder car in this game. I don't think there is another car that's more powerful than this. And I don't mean stock. Is once I finish building it. I also changed the paint of this thing. On stream I turned it into midnight purple, just because I thought it was gonna be funny if I just did it. Also, the paints for the Cooper cars, very boring. Super, super boring. I don't understand why they have these paints, and I'll show you guys what they are, especially for the Fermenter. So this is what you get. A very weird matte grey color for it. You have a kind of like a gloss black. It has like a green tint on it because I think I have, yeah, I have I guess vinyl on top of it, so I can create this midnight purple. So I have like a layer on top of it. That's why it's green. It's actually just gloss black, and then a matte blue. The most boring colors I've ever seen. So I decided to turn this thing into MMP3 because I just thought it'd be funny. Anyway, enough of that. Let's actually upgrade this thing and show you what it's capable of. Again, Forza parts, yucky, ooey. Don't want to put these on. Disgusting. But what I do want to do is, you can see we have an engine swap. Again, boring engine swap. Don't want to do that. That is very boring. It is it's all-wheel drive as standard. It's an SUV, of course. But the cool thing about this thing is I've put on snow tire compound and I was able to slide this thing around like crazy. I absolutely loved trying to slide this thing. Sorry, not trying, because I succeeded in sliding this thing around on the mountain pass. I'm gonna do it again in this video because it's honestly such a fun car to slide. And it's just always drifting, just always sliding around the place. Super, super, super fun car. And I'll show you guys how cool that is. And I'll show you the power that this thing actually makes as well once I'm finished with it. Like I said, it is the most powerful 5-cylinder car in the game. I don't think the TTRS can make this much power. I don't think any of the other cars can make this much power. Feel free to say that I'm wrong and to prove me wrong. But from what I've seen yesterday, not even the old Audi Quattro rally car makes this much power once it's fully upgraded, which is very, very sick. I'm not going to put anti-lag because that's just going to be really annoying in my ears. And last few parts here, you can see that all of these are owned. And now, if we back out, it makes 821 horsepower. And it weighs 1,266. I'm pretty sure on the Audi RS cars, on the RS3 and that, they make around 800, I think, maybe slightly less than 800, if I remember correctly. But yeah, power to weight, very, very sick on this thing. It also sounds amazing, because 5 cylinders just sound amazing in general. They're very, very cool. But, like I said, with this thing, I'm going to go ahead and slide it down the mountain, and it's genuinely one of the funnest things ever. It's seriously, seriously fun to try and drive down the mountain. Gonna do very basic setup, just something like this, nothing too crazy. It's like too much toe actually. There you go, keep it like that. Very soft front end, so this thing can just change direction very quickly. Same with that, just everything very soft on the front end. And then lock the diff. I'm gonna actually fully lock this diff and make it so it's slightly rear biased. So we'll do 85% over the rear. Alright, now let me show you what this crazy thing is capable of. Very weird exhaust, I'm not gonna lie. But I do like the... There it goes. There it goes already. Already gone sideways. Yeah, I really like the design of these things. You'll see these on the road every now and then. I see the Fermenter on the road kind of often-ish. But obviously not this VZ5. Basically just a normal one. Which I'm pretty sure is just the same as same engine or whatever as a Golf R or as a Cooper Leon or whatever it's called. Basically making, I think, around like 280 horsepower, something like that. Something similar to that. But you see the 2-liter basically all the time, but definitely not the 2.5-liter inline 5. I've never seen this before. I didn't even know this thing existed until they added it into the game. But it is one of the easiest cars to slide. And it sounds good, like I said, but it's just so easy to just throw down the mountain and enjoy. Like, it's so easy to drive without even steering this thing. You just sort of put it into the corner, try to find the right angle, and then with the throttle, you just drive it with the throttle. That's it. And then when you need to straighten up, then you counter steer. That is, it's so dumb how easy this thing is to drive sideways. I mean, yeah, I'm all-wheel drifting it, but like, it's still so easy. Like, I'm fucking sliding around on an SUV, boys. Like, what do you expect? Actually, it's more like a crossover than an SUV, right? Look at it. That is the easiest thing I've ever done. It's seriously so easy to drive. I'm not a big fan of SUVs. I'm not a big fan of like owning an SUV. Like, I'd rather own an estate, wagon, whatever you want to call it. But there are some that I still enjoy the design of, and I wouldn't mind, you know, having one, right? Like, there's very few of them, but I wouldn't mind. For example, Porsche Cayenne. I like the Porsche Cayenne. Either the Cayenne or the Cayenne GT. I think they're very cool. Also, a lot of people are saying that they drive like actual cars. They don't feel like SUVs. So I kind of trust that many people are saying that they feel like a car instead of like an SUV. So I really like the Porsche Cayenne. There's not many others. Like, BMW X5 is just, at least that has like decent design still left over, because I feel like they've ruined the majority of the I can't even speak. The BMW lineup. I feel like they've just gotten worse and worse with some of the cars. But the X5 still stays really nicely. Like, I hate the X6. Like, I think the X6 is disgusting looking. Same with the X4. Like, the X3 at least is starting to look normal. I remember back in the day when it just looked absolutely disgusting as well. I think one of the first generations of the X3, it was just horrible looking. Again, it's just, I have like mixed opinions on SUVs, but I definitely would take like a wagon or an estate over it, you know? It doesn't matter what brand it is, I just would. I just feel like it'll just be better. Like, I'd take a Panamera over a Cayenne, you know? But I can appreciate good design, and I think the Cupra design team is doing a very good job with their cars. Because a lot of their cars look really good. They look very aggressive. They have like their own thing as well. Like, they're not really copying many other brands. Like, they have their own designs and stuff like that. And even their logo is very sick as well. I don't really know what it's supposed to be. It looks like a weird like devil mosquito or whatever the hell it is. But it just looks interesting. And the whole design language of having basically copper everywhere as accents, very cool. Much cooler than having like either chrome everywhere or like matte black everywhere, you know? Even though there's a lot of Cupra matte cars, which I don't really like. I'm not a big fan of that at all. I wish that they would just ditch the matte design, but I feel like a lot of people really like the matte or satin or whatever you want to call it. I feel like a lot of people really like it, so it's probably why they're doing it. I hate it. I hate any sort of matte color, any sort of satin color. It just doesn't look good at all. I want it to shine. I want it to look good. And the matte or satin just hides detail so much, and I just don't like it at all. It doesn't matter what car it's on. I always see people, you know, when they have their like modified Lamborghinis and everything, it's just always getting the same thing. Always a matte black color. Always. Matte black or matte grey, whatever. And it's just awful. Like, you hide so much detail. Then for the people saying, oh, but it doesn't look as, it looks so aggressive. Like, no, it just doesn't. It looks so ugly and stupid. Just get the gloss color. Just get like a gloss black or like a metallic black. You have some flakes in it or something. You can make the car's paint look so much nicer. And you can still see all the detail in the car and everything, instead of painting it matte. You know? I don't know. I just really dislike it, I guess. Very weird rant, a very weird tangent, but I just don't like the whole matte thing. I don't like, especially when people when manufacturers offer as like standard color. I'm just not a big fan. So are you guys convinced that this is like one of the easiest cars to drift in this game? Are you? Because I am. It's honestly super nice to drive. It's like, I'm barely paying attention. And it's just doing stuff like this without me even doing anything. I'm just kind of going into a corner and just accelerating. Like, it's honestly really fun. I feel like there's gotta be varying builds for this Formentor though. I feel like there's going to be a lot of different types of builds, and people are going to create very different things with this car. But we'll see that in the next few days. I feel like I'm going to get some people even sending it over on my Discord for me to try, you know? And I feel like that'll be kind of fun. Look at the angle of this pulse. The grip is dumb. The grip is very dumb. But yeah, I guess that's it for today's video. Thank you for watching, everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed it. These are 2 brand new cars. I don't know if I said it at the start from how you get them. You just get them. They're just there in your messages. You literally, everybody will get these for free. They're just there for you. Just go to your messages and download them. That's pretty much it. Every single person's going to get these cars for free, which is kind of cool to see. But yeah, that was it. The 2 brand new Cupras added into the game. I'm actually kind of happy that the Cupras are making their way into the game. I hope that they add some more interesting cars. I would have rather they have the Cupra Leon, like, estate or wagon or whatever you want to call it, which I'm pretty sure is the fastest estate or the fastest wagon around the Nürburgring, if I remember correctly. But yeah, that's a very cool car. I wish that they added that, even if it is a front-wheel drive. But I wish that they added that, because I feel like that would be kind of fun to try and build and drive very quickly in the game, you know? But yeah, I'm glad that this is in the game, because I really like the Formentor. Very cool car. That's it. Thank you for watching, everyone, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.